Picture this. Hollywood glamour meets Buckingham Palace intrigue. Meghan Markle, the American actress who charmed the world as a modern princess, and Prince Andrew, the scandal-ridden son of Queen Elizabeth II, shadowed by whispers of yachts, parties, and powerful circles. Two worlds, Hollywood and the palace, that were never meant to collide. But what if they did? Long before Prince Harry entered the picture, rumors swirl that Meghan and Andrew crossed paths in the glittering underbelly of elite social scenes. Same parties, same yachts, same exclusive gatherings. It's a story that should have stayed buried, but one persistent rumor refuses to die. Did Meghan really know Prince Andrew before Harry? And if she did, why would lying about it feel safer than telling the truth? Buckle up, because we're diving deep into the connections, the timelines, and the tantalizing what-ifs that could rewrite everything we think we know about the Sussexes. This isn't just gossip, it's an investigation into power, privilege, and the secrets that bind them. Let's start at the beginning, shall we? We're talking 2012, a pivotal year when Meghan Markle's star was rising, but not quite at supernova level. She was starring in Suits, that legal drama that made her a household name in Canada and the US. But she wasn't yet the global icon we'd come to know. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, Prince Andrew was navigating his own turbulent waters. Fresh off his controversial friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, rumors of which were already bubbling in elite circles, Andrew was still very much a fixture in royal life. He was the Queen's second son, the one with the military background, the trade envoy gigs, and yes, the infamous reputation for rubbing shoulders with the rich, and infamous. But here's where the paths might have started to intertwine. Publicly, Meghan and Harry's love story begins in 2016, when they met through a mutual friend on a blind date. Harry recounts it in his memoir Spare, a simple setup that led to whirlwind romance. Yet, insiders and royal watchers have long speculated about earlier connections. Meghan herself admitted in her 2021 interview with Oprah Winfrey that she knew Princess Eugenie Andrew's daughter before meeting Harry. That's a verified fact, straight from Meghan's lips. She said it on camera, no ambiguity. But if you knew Eugenie, a princess in one of the most photographed families on Earth, wouldn't you know a thing or two about her dad? Wouldn't you recognize Andrew's face when you finally encountered him? Harry's version of events, laid out in Spare, paints a different picture. He describes Meghan's first meeting with Andrew at a royal gathering, writing, "That wasn't her assistant. That was her second son, Andrew." It's defensive, almost scripted, like damage control in print form. Why include that specific anecdote? It feels like they anticipated the questions. The friendship with Eugenie would inevitably raise eyebrows, so they got their story out first. But does it hold water? Let's unpack the timeline and see. Flashback to 2013. This is the year everything changed for Meghan. She wasn't just an actress anymore. She was networking her way into higher circles. That's when she met Princess Eugenie, not through Harry, not at some stuffy palace event, but through a fashion designer named Misha Nanu. Nanu wasn't just any designer. She was well-connected, a British insider who'd been close friends with Eugenie and her sister, Princess Beatrice, for over a decade. These weren't casual acquaintances, they were deep, real friendships. Nanu's circle was tight, exclusive, and strategic. If you wanted to penetrate royal-adjacent worlds, you needed someone like her to vouch for you. The introduction happened at Soho House, that members-only club in New York where the elite network over cocktails and caviar. Meghan was brought in by Marcus Anderson, an influential figure who seemed to open doors at just the right times. They sat together at lunch, hit it off immediately. Through Nanu, Meghan gained access to the York sisters. Beatrice and Eugenie even attended Nanu's first wedding in Venice, Italy, a glamorous affair that screamed old money and new connections. And get this, he dined with Prince Harry. Everyone in this circle knew everyone else. It was a web of exclusivity where Hollywood met royalty in the most seamless way. This wasn't a happy accident. It was crucial. In the world of high society, you don't just stumble into royal friendships. You need an insider. Nanu was that bridge for Meghan, and it paid off. But what Meghan might not have bargained for was how deeply Eugenie would embed herself in Meghan's world. From 2013 to 2015, Eugenie wasn't just popping in and out of London. She was living and working in New York City, building her career at an art auction company called Paddle 8, run by Nanu's ex-husband. Eugenie was in North America, attending events, getting photographed, living as a young royal trying to carve out her independence. Meghan, meanwhile, was filming Suits in Toronto. Both women were on the same continent, connected through Nanu, moving in overlapping social circles. The timeline overlaps perfectly. Eugenie was out there, networking, partying, being the face of the York family in America. And during all this, Meghan claims she had no idea who Eugenie's father was. No recognition of Andrew, one of Britain's most photographed royals. Let's talk geography and logic. Proximity matters. When you're friends with someone for years, you learn about their family. You see photos, hear stories, Google them out of curiosity. Eugenie's face was everywhere in those years on magazine covers, at events, often with her dad. From 2013 to 2015, the York family was inescapable in the media. Prince Andrew, Beatrice, and Eugenie were featured in glossy publications like Tatler and Asterisk Hello. Constantly, anonymous photos surfaced showing Andrew with his daughters, smiling for the cameras, embodying royal life. If you were Eugenie's friend during this period, you couldn't avoid seeing Andrew's face. It was plastered across airport newsstands, grocery store racks, and social media feeds. So, how do you not know? How do you claim a 3-year friendship with a princess and never once wonder about her father? Never Google Princess Eugenie and see the family tree pop up. Meghan wants us to believe she stayed blissfully ignorant, accepting Eugenie as just a princess without digging deeper. But in the age of smartphones and 24/7 news, that strains believability. It insults common sense. You don't remain that clueless about something so obvious unless you're pretending not to. And pretending requires a motive. What if Meghan did know? What if the ignorance was an act, performed for an audience that was already whispering uncomfortable questions? Let's speculate, because that's what investigations like this do. We explored the what-ifs to uncover motivations. If Meghan had met Andrew earlier, through Eugenie or those shared circles, why hide it? Power dynamics? Perhaps. Andrew's scandals were heating up. By 2015, Epstein's shadow was lengthening, and Andrew's associations were becoming toxic. Associating with him could tarnish a rising star like Meghan. But fast forward to 2016, when she meets Harry, and suddenly, entering the royal family means navigating that same web. If she'd known Andrew, admitting it might invite scrutiny. Was it through Epstein-linked parties? Yachts, the rumors we've all heard. And those rumors? Oh, they're persistent. Unconfirmed. Mind you, pure speculation, but they paint a picture of Meghan in elite circles long before Harry. Whispers of luxury gatherings, yacht scenes with powerful men, allegations that a relatively unknown actress climbed the social ladder faster than her career warranted. Sources from different countries never meeting each other keep repeating the same story. Meghan mingled with the Epstein-adjacent crowd. No proof, just smoke. But where there's smoke, there's often fire. In 2020, a newspaper reported claims from a well-known journalist that Meghan may have met Andrew before Harry, through mutual acquaintances in those moneyed, secretive worlds. Then there's the unauthorized biography of Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's right-hand woman. The author alleged that Meghan and Andrew crossed paths years earlier, even claiming a photograph exists to prove it. Explosive. Absolutely. But on the response? Silence from the set. No lawsuits? No denials, just letting the rumors simmer. Why, when you stay quiet, it amplifies the intrigue. People wonder if it's false. Why not fight back? But let's pivot to another layer of this web. Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, Eugenie, and Beatrice's mother. In the early 2010s, Fergie was in deep trouble. Caught on video in a sting operation, allegedly, trying to sell access to Andrew for £500,000. Her reputation was in tatters. Humiliated, she needed serious help. So, she hired a top-tier PR agency specializing in crisis management and image rehab. This wasn't some local firm, it was elite, handling Alistairs and crises that could topple empires. They orchestrated her apologetic interview with Oprah, where she expressed remorse, the same Oprah who'd later sit down with Meghan and Harry. Now, here's the twist. Word is Meghan worked with this exact same PR agency as early as 2013. That's the year she met Eugenie, the year she entered royal-adjacent circles. At the time, Meghan was 6th on the call sheet of Suits, an unknown in a cable drama, not a star. Yet, this agency known for representing the untouchables took her on. Why? What did she bring? It doesn't add up unless someone else was footing the bill or there was a bigger plan. Both Fergie and Meghan, same agency, same timelines, both tied to the York family and Andrew. Both needing reputation management, albeit for different reasons. Hypothetically, what if this was strategic? Fergie needed to rebuild after her scandal. Meghan needed to polish her image for a potential royal leap. The agency could have been the connective tissue, introducing Meghan to Fergie's world and, by extension, Andrews, if Meghan was rehabbing her own narrative through the same channels, it might explain the overlapping circles, and if Andrew was involved, even peripherally, the stakes rise. Why lie about knowing him? Because admitting it could link back to Epstein, to Fergie's mess, to a web of scandals that could engulf the Sussex-E's. Speaking of yachts and scandals, let's address the elephant in the room, the Epstein connection. Andrew's ties to Epstein are well-documented court records, settlements, the infamous 2019 BBC interview where he defended himself disastrously. Meghan has denied any involvement, and publicly, there's no link. But rumors persist that she attended Epstein-related events, perhaps on yachts, in those elite circles where Andrew was a fixture. Unconfirmed, of course, speculation fueled by anonymous sources and tabloid whispers. But if true, it would explain the safer lie. Admitting knowledge of Andrew pre-Harry could invite questions about Epstein, about how a Hollywood actress navigated those waters. Lying claiming ignorance keeps the narrative clean, focused on fairy tale romance rather than shadowy dealings. Harry's memoir feels like a preemptive strike. By including that assistant anecdote, he's planting doubt in readers' minds. See, she didn't know him, but it reads as too convenient, too defensive. Why that detail? It anticipates the Eugenie connection, raising flags. In royal commentary circles, this is classic damage control. Get your version out before the leaks. Let's think strategically. What if Meghan knew Andrew and chose to downplay it? The motivations could be multifaceted. First, optics. Andrew's reputation was radioactive. By 2016, associating with him could jeopardize her entry into the royal family. Second, Harry's own sensitivities. His memoir reveals his protectiveness over Meghan, his disdain for the press. Admitting prior connections might invite scrutiny that could hurt their image. Third, the bigger picture. If Meghan was climbing social ladders through these circles, admitting it could expose her as more calculating than the outsider narrative allows. The Sussexes have positioned themselves as reformers, breaking from tradition. A pre-Harry link to Andrew undermines that, makes it seem like she was already insider. And what about Andrew? Why would he stay silent? Perhaps mutual benefit. If they did cross paths, denying it protects both. Andrew's scandals have isolated him. Meghan's rise could be seen as a fresh start, but silence breeds suspicion. To recap the timeline, 2012, rumored early overlaps in elite circles, unconfirmed. 2013, Meghan meets Eugenie via Nanu at Soho House. Eugenie moves to NYC. Meghan starts with the PR agency. 2014 to 2015, Eugenie in NYC, Meghan in Toronto, shared networks. 2016, Meghan meets Harry, claims no knowledge of Andrew. 2019, Andrew's Epstein fallout peaks. 2021, Meghan admits knowing Eugenie pre-Harry on Oprah. 2023, Harry's SBR includes the assistant story. The math doesn't add up. Geography, timing, media, saturational, point to improbability of ignorance. So, what really happened? Did Meghan genuinely not know Andrew, blinded by friendship and focus on her career? Or is there more a calculated omission to shield reputations, avoid Epstein entanglements, or maintain the fairy tale? The rumors remain unproven, the photograph unseen. But the question lingers. How do you not know your friend's father for 3 years, especially when he's everywhere? This isn't just about Meghan and Andrew. It's about the fragility of narratives and power. When stories don't make sense, we dig deeper. And until someone explains the holes, the questions will persist. What do you think? Drop your theories in the comments. Did she know him? Or is it all smoke? Share this with fellow royal obsessives. And if you want more deep dives into these tangled webs, hit subscribe. Let's keep uncovering the truth together. Thanks for watching. Stay curious.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle aren't just scaling back, they're watching their dream life unravel in real time. From the $14 million 0-cents Montecito mansion to private jet rides with Elton John, the fairy tale is cracking fast. Behind closed doors, sources are whispering what the headlines are just now catching up to. The Sussexes are broke by Hollywood standards. Not paycheck to paycheck broke, but reputation in the toilet. Revenue dried up, nobody calling broke, and the money burn is faster than even Diana's inheritance can handle. Let's rewind. Meghan once boldly declared her intentions to become a billionaire. Not a millionaire. A billionaire. That's the level of ambition we're talking about. But the problem? You can't keep spending like Oprah if you're not earning like Oprah. Their Spotify deal? Gone. Netflix? Called. Limonada? A flop. Meghan's podcast plans evaporated. Harry's projects aren't pulling in big numbers. And that Montecito lifestyle? It comes with Montecito bills. With no new cash pouring in and no major brand lining up to give them a second chance, the math simply doesn't add up anymore. Insiders are confirming it. Belt tightening is underway. They're cutting staff, flying less, attending fewer events. They're not seen in the circles they used to dominate. Private jets, once casually loaned by Tyler Perry and Elton John, now noticeably absent. When the freebies stop flowing, that's Hollywood's polite way of saying you're not relevant anymore. And in a town built on relevance, irrelevance is a death sentence. Let's talk numbers. Harry reportedly received around £10 million sterling, 0 pence, from Diana's estate at age 30, and another £7 sterling, 0 pence, 8 million from the Queen Mother when he turned 40. Sounds like a cushion, right? But those millions don't stretch far when you're flying private, buying designer wardrobes, paying PR firms, and maintaining luxury estate. Especially not in California, where lifestyle inflation hits hard. One former associate put it bluntly, they've realized they need to downsize their lifestyle if they want to make this work long term. The reality is brutal. No royal paycheck means no royal lifestyle. Might be the only lifeline left. They're walking because brand value is tied to image, and right now, while Charles may want to help, Harry and Meghan's Prince William is having none of it. Sources close to the palace say William is drawing mistreated royals seeking no reconciliation, has been no forgiveness, and absolutely no interest is fading, and so are the dollars that come with it. If that means embracing. And don't feel too bad, because let's be real, accepting Harry back means accepting the entire circus that follows him. And the media? They're playing their own chess game. The Sun, historically a William and Kate stronghold, published a surprising piece from Jane Moore urging the family to embrace Harry again. She frames it as a story of a grieving younger brother who's lost his way, but who deserves a second chance. That narrative is spreading, and it's clear someone wants this rehabilitation arc to take hold. But who's driving it? Buckingham Palace? Meghan's PR team? Allies in the press? Whoever it is, they're clearly banking on public sympathy. The problem? The public isn't buying it. People haven't forgotten the Oprah interview. They haven't forgotten the accusations, and they haven't forgotten that it was William and Kate who took the hardest hits from Harry's book and media blitz. Meanwhile, Meghan's name isn't showing up in the same conversations it used to. Her attempts to align with elite names like Oprah, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Jennifer Aniston have fallen flat. She wanted to build a brand that rivaled the Kardashians, but without the hustle or the loyal audience. And with Hollywood closing its gates, she's now scrambling to find a lane that works. Harry, too, is fumbling. He's popping up more in UK-adjacent events, subtly reminding the public that he's still royal. But it's transparent. The moves feel desperate. And his inner circle? They're shrinking. One by one, former allies are stepping back. His longtime mentor, Edward Lane Fox, quietly left the Invictus Games board. Even worse, the organization Harry founded and was growing influence over wasn't allowed exit. What started as a loud message, and he wasn't alone, project is now close confidants overshadowed by Meghan's need to insert that no one seems eager to answer. Charity insiders are reportedly frustrated that the events feel more Hollywood than heartfelt. The second act of this financial downfall, they're noticing, and the royal power struggle the Invictus Games would be better off with another royal figurehead. It really gets messy. Someone less divisive. The walls are closing in, and Harry's next moves are starting to look like the flailing of someone who knows a few years ago is running out. Now it's gaining traction. The loss of Invictus Games allies wasn't just a simple truth. Harry and Meghan built their empire on media hype. Even those closest to him, they weaponized public sympathy after stepping back from royal duties. Wasn't some once the tell-all interviews dried up, he was Harry's right-hand man for years. Faded, the one person many believed could steer him back to royal relevance. They were left with a brutal reality. If he's walking away, no one's lining up to pay them millions just for being controversial. And he's not alone. The well is dry. Other trustees and former military veterans there to build Harry's mission are stepping aside. People in Hollywood are starting to talk publicly, not in loud, headline-grabbing ways, ended, but behind closed doors. Insiders are whispering something else in the places where deals are made. They're saying the organization has shifted from being a grounded veterans initiative into a vanity delivering A-list value, one that's starting to suffer under the weight of Harry and Meghan's That's a death sentence in an industry where reputation is everything. The optics are terrible. Just look at how invisible they've become in celebrity circles. It's not because things are going great. Silent. Oprah, distant. The glam squad of billionaire benefactors that once welcomed them with open arms, now mostly MIA. Those private jet invites